Michealwaltrip Racing started in the Xfinityseries in 1994 in the Clever Girl number 17 Pontiac with Jeff Green behind the wheel. He ran one race at Bristol, starting 12th and then finishing 3rd. In 1996, Waltrip was in the MW Windows number 12 Ford. They attempted 14 races, qualifying for 13 of them. His best finish was 1st in the fall in Richmond. His best finish was 2nd in the spring in Darlington. Overall, they scored 3 top 5 finishes. The following season, in 1997, Waltrip changed his number to 21 in a sponsored Band-Aid. He ran a bit better this season, while running another part-time schedule in the Xfinityseries. They attempted 18 races, qualifying for 16 of them. His best start was 1st in Richmond in the fall, and his best finish was 3rd in the season opener in Daytona. Overall, they scored 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 1 pole. For 1998, Waltrip continued to grow the team. He attempted 16 races, qualifying for 15 of them. His best start was 5th in the spring in Dover, and his best finish was 4th in the spring in Charlotte. The team also ran the number 14 Rhodes Furniture Ford with Patty Moise behind the wheel. She made 19 starts with a best finish of 10th in Bristol. She ended the season 37th in final point standings. For 1999, Michael ran the number 21 Band-Aid Ford. He was able to score his first victory as a lone driver. His best start was 6th in the first race in Dover of the season, and his best finish was 1st in the fall race in Charlotte. Overall, they scored 0 poles, 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 7 top 10s. The next year, in 2000, Waltrip changed his number to 7 and kept Band-Aid on as a primary sponsor. He attempted 11 races in the number 7, qualifying for 9 of them. His best start in the number 7 was 9th, and his best finish was 2nd in both Michigan races. He also attempted 4 races in the Aaron's Dream Machine number 99 Chevrolet. He qualified for 3 events. His best start was 4th, and his best finish was 8th, both in Bristol. Teddy Christopher ran the number 99 at Memphis Motorsports Park, starting 29th and finishing 28th. Now, in 2001, Waltrip ran the number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine as the focus of Michealwaltrip Racing's efforts in 2001. He ran 12 races, and Shauna Robinson ran 3 races, and so did Kerry Earnhardt. Waltrip's best start was 2nd in Charlotte in the fall. His best finish was 3rd in the spring in Atlanta. Overall, he scored 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. Robinson's best finish was 19th in Talladega, and Earnhardt's best finish was 20th at Kentucky Motor Speedway. For 2002, Michealwaltrip, he made all 19 starts in the MWR team that season in the Xfinityseries. His best start was 1st twice in the fall in Charlotte and Kansas. His best finish was 1st in Michigan. Even though he only ran part schedule, he still finished 27th in final point standings. Now, Michealwaltrip Racing also made it to the Cup Series. They made their debut with Kenny Wallace behind the wheel of the number 98 Aaron's Dream Machine Chevrolet. Wallace was able to start 27th and finish 21st in Talladega. Following the race, Waltrip worked out a deal to sell the number and its owner points to Innovative Motorsports. MWR also debuted the number 00 Aaron's Lease and Sales Chevrolet at Chicago with Jerry Nadeau behind the wheel. They started 34th and they finished 37th. In 2003, Michealwaltrip Racing ran the number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine with Waltrip behind the wheel for 20 out of the 21 starts they made that in 2003. His best start was 1st twice in Richmond and Kansas. His best finish was 1st in Bristol in the fall. Overall, he scored 2 poles, 1 win, 8 top 5s, and 13 top 10s. Ending 2003, and 18th in final point standings, even though they only ran 2/3 of the season. Kenny Wallace made one start in the number 99 St. Louis Cardinals Chevrolet in Gateway. He started 7th and finished 10th. Michealwaltrip Racing also ran a couple more Cup Series races in that 00. Buckshot Jones ran Talladega in the fall, starting 16th and finishing 40th. Jones also attempted the fall race in Atlanta, but he DNQ'd. The following race, the season finale at Homestead, the 00 Bacardi Silver Raz Chevrolet had Mike Skinner behind the wheel. He started 17th and he finished 39th. In 2003, Darrell Waltrip came out of retirement to run a few Truck Series races in the number 17 Tide Chevrolet. His best start was 12th in the spring in Martinsville, and his best finish was 7th twice in the spring and the fall races in Martinsville. For 2004, Michealwaltrip Racing runs its first full-time season. Michael drove all but 3 of the races. The 3 races that didn't line up with his Cup Series schedule, not willing to miss any of the all-too-important Cup Series races. His best start was 3rd in Nazareth, and his best finish was 1st in Martinsville in the spring. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. The team even led the series points for 3 weeks, but ended up 13th in final point standings. In the Cup Series, the number 00 Aaron's Chevrolet, driven by Kenny Wallace in the 2004, they attempted 8 races, qualifying for only 4 of them. His best start was 22nd in Indy, and his best finish was 22nd in Homestead. The following year, in 2005, Michealwaltrip had Kerry Earnhardt run 2 races for the team. 1 race in the 99 in the summer in Daytona, starting 17th and finishing 43rd, and 1 race in the number 98 in the spring in Talladega, starting 34th and finishing 5th. He attempted the race at Memphis in the number 99, but DNQ'd. Jimmy Spencer made 1 start in the Brianvickers number 98 Chevrolet in the spring in Atlanta, starting 23rd and finishing 27th. Michealwaltrip made 23 attempts, only qualifying for 17. His best start was 6th in Gateway. His best finish was 7th 3 times in Daytona, Atlanta, and Phoenix in the spring, all in the number 99 car. Over to the Cup Series. The team continued to run the 00 part-time. Johnny Benson made 2 starts, with his best start was 21st in Bristol in the fall. His best finish was 42nd in Michigan in the fall. Davidreutimann made his Cup Series debut in the fall in Charlotte in the 00 State Farm Corn Dogs Toyota or Chevrolet, starting 26th and finishing 22nd. Kenny Wallace attempted 5 races, qualifying for two of them. His best start was 21st in the Daytona 500, and his best finish was 27th in Darlington in the spring. In 2006, things really started to expand for MWR. They signed an agreement with Toyota to field multiple teams in the Cup Series for Toyota in 2007. For 2006, MWR partnered with the sinking Bill Davis Racing, who was no longer getting manufacturer support since Daimler Chrysler was suing Bill Davis Racing for breach of contract. Another issue having to do with Toyota. Michealwaltrip was in the number 55 Napa Dodge full-time. He DNQ'd 4 times. He qualified for 32 events. His best start was 19th twice in the summer in Daytona and Homestead. His best finish was 14th in the fall in Talladega. In the 00, former series champ Bill Elliott made 5 starts. His best start was 23rd in Fontana, and his best finish was 22nd in Indy. Joey Miller made 1 start in the Xfinityseries in the team's number 99 at Memphis, starting 33rd and finishing 36th. Darrell Waltrip again came out of retirement, made one Xfinity Series start in the number 99 at Martinsville, starting 41st and finishing 28th. Now, Davidreutimann made 12 starts in the number 99. His best start was 8th in Kansas, and his best finish was 6th in Nashville. Michealwaltrip ran 20 starts in the number 99. His best start was 20th in the spring in Dover. His best finish was 2nd in Charlotte in the fall. Toyota came to the Cup Series in 2007. Michealwaltrip Racing went to Daytona with 3 teams. The number 44 UPS Toyota with Dale Jarrett behind the wheel. The number 00 Domino's Burger King Toyota with Davidreutimann behind the wheel. And the number 55 Napa Toyota with Michealwaltrip behind the wheel. All 3 MWR teams qualifying times were disallowed in the Daytona 500 due to officials finding what they called basically jet fuel after using an additive to their normal fuel. Jarrett attempted all 36 races, DNQing 12 times. His best start was 3rd in the fall race in Atlanta. His best finish was 17th in Homestead. He ended up 41st in points. Reutimann also attempted all 36 races, DNQing 8 times. His best start was 5th in the fall in Talladega. His best finish was 13th in the fall in Richmond. He ended 2007 39th in final points. Waltrip attempted all 36 races as well, DNQing for a whopping 19 of them, meaning he DNQ'd more times than he qualified. His best start was 1st in the fall in Talladega. His best finish was 10th twice in the first race of the season in Michigan and in the fall race in Charlotte. He ended up 43rd in points, following the team's atrocious season. Domino's and Burger King was left out. Just went ahead and left as sponsors. Over in the Xfinity Series, Dale Jarrett made 1 start for MWR in the fall in Bristol in the number 44 UPS Toyota, starting 38th and finishing 23rd. Michael McDowell ran 3 races at the end of the 07 Xfinity Series season in the 00 Napa Aaron's Toyota. His best start was 17th in the fall Texas, and his best finish was 14th in Phoenix. Davidreutimann ran the number 99 Aaron's Dream Machine Toyota. His best start was 1st in the fall in Texas, and his best finish was 1st in Memphis. Overall, the team scored 1 pole, 1 win, 5 top 5s, and 12 top 10s, ending the season in 2nd position in final point standings. Then, in the 2008 season, Rob Kaufman came in as a 50-50 partner with Waltrip, helping out financially. Waltrip ran full-time in the number 55 Napa Toyota. His best start was 2nd in the Daytona 500, and his best finish was 2nd in the first race of the season in Loudon. Overall, they scored 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s, and ended 08 in 29th in final points. Davidreutimann also ran full-time in the 00 Aaron's Dream Machine Toyota. His best start was 1st in Homestead. His best finish was 9th twice. In the fall in Richmond and Fontana. Overall, he scored 4 top 10s. They ended 08 and 22nd in final points. Dale Jarrett, he ran the first 5 races of the season before retiring. His best start was 16th in Las Vegas, and his best finish was 16th in the Daytona 500. A.J. Allmendinger ran 1 race in the 00 in the fall in Charlotte, starting 38th and finishing 43rd. Michael McDowell made 21 attempts in the 00 Aaron's Dream Machine, DNQing 1 time in Kansas. His best start was 18th in Darlington in the spring, and his best finish was 20th in Richmond in the fall. Mike Bliss made 1 start in the 00 in the fall in Martinsville, starting 38th and finishing 39th. Mike Skinner ran 3 races in that 00, Champion Mortgage Toyota. His best finish was 22nd in Michigan, and his best start was 22nd, and his best finish was 28th in Bristol. Kenny also ran one race in the 00 in the fall in Talladega, starting 14th and finishing 12th. As for the Xfinityseries side, NWR of MWR, Davidreutimann ran all 35 Xfinityseries races. His best start was first in Chicago, and his best finish was second in Memphis. The team spent the entire season in the top 10 in points. Overall, they scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 8 top 5s, and 15 top 10s, ending the season 7th in final points. Next up was the 2009 season. Michealwaltrip was behind the wheel of the number 55 Napa Toyota full-time. His best start was 11th in Phoenix, and his best finish was 7th twice in the Daytona 500 and the fall race in Talladega. Overall, he scored 2 top 10s and ended up 33rd in points. Davidreutimann was behind the wheel of the 00 Aaron Dream machine. Again, he was able to score his first career victory in the Coke 600 in Charlotte. His best start was first twice in the spring in Texas and in Dover. His best finish was first in the spring in Charlotte. Overall, he scored 2 poles, 1 win, 5 top 5s, and 10 top 10s, ending the season 16th in final point standings. Patrick Carpentier ran the 2 road course races at Sonoma and Watkins Glen in the number 55. In Sonoma, he started 38th and finished 11th. In Watkins Glen, he started 17th and finished 33rd. Trevor Bayne made 12 starts in that number 99 Aaron's Dream machine. His best start and finish was first and 7th at IRP. Scott Speed also made 13 starts in the number 99. His best start was first in Las Vegas. His best finish was 7th in Dover in the spring. Michealwaltrip made 7 starts in the number 99. His best start was 9th at Phoenix, and his best finish was 11th in Daytona. It was 2010, and the team saw another important transformation. In the Xfinityseries, Trevor Bayne returned to the number 99 team. His best start was first 3 times in Gateway, IRP, and Iowa. His best finish was third twice in Gateway and Richmond. Overall, they scored 3 poles, 0 wins, 6 top 5s, and 11 top 10s, ending the season 7th in final point standings. Martintruexjr ran 6 races for the Xfinityseries team, 3 in the 00 and 3 in the 99. His best start was 4th in Fontana, and his best finish was in the fall in Charlotte. Brianvickers made 7 starts for MWR, 3 in the 00 and 4 in the 99. His best start was 2nd, and his best finish was 12th, both in Michigan in the fall. Patrick Carpentier made 1 start in the 00 in Montreal, starting 13th and finishing 32nd. Now on the Cup Series side, Waltrip stepped back as a full-time driver, transferring his sponsor, Napa, over to the number 56 for Martintruexjr. His best start was first in the spring in Dover, and his best finish was 5th in the spring in Martinsville. Overall, they scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 7 top 10s, ending the season 22nd in final points. Davidreutimann was behind the wheel of the number 00 Best Western Tums Toyota, full-time again in 2010. His best start was 2nd in the spring in Richmond. His best finish was 1st in Chicagoland. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 9 top 10s, ending up 18th in final points. Michealwaltrip made 3 starts for himself in the number 55 and 51. His best start was 20th in Talladega, and his best finish was 18th in the Daytona 500. So, in 2011, Michealwaltrip racing continued to grow. In the Xfinityseries, Ryan Truex ran 99 for 11 races. Best start 9th, best finish was 8th. Okay, Michealwaltrip drove Daytona and Talladega. His best start was 24th in Talladega, and his best finish was 9th. Daytona. Reutemann ran number 99 in Texas, starting and finishing 9th. Starting 14th, finishing 9th. Carpentier ran again, Montreal again this season in the 99, starting 8th and finishing 32nd. Cole Witt ran one race in the 99 Red Bull Toyota, starting 14th and finishing 15th. Then over to the Cup Series side of things. Martintruexjr returned full-time to the number 56 Napa Toyota. His best start was first in the fall in Dover. His best finish was second in the fall in Bristol. Overall, they scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 3 top 5s, and 12 top 10s, ending the 2011 season 18th in final point standings. Davidreutimann was back behind the wheel of the 00 Aaron's Dream Machine. His best start was first in the fall in Richmond. His best finish was second in Kentucky. Overall, they scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 3 top 10s, ending the season in 28th in final points. Waltrip made 4 attempts, qualifying for 3 races in the number 15 Toyota. His best start was 8th in the Daytona 500, and his best finish was 9th in the Spring Talladega race. Then in 2012, the team switched the 00 to the number 15. Reutemann left the team, Clintbowyer joined the team. Bowyer drove the number 15 5-hour Energy Toyota. His best start was second in the fall in Dover. His best finish was first 3 times in Sonoma, and in the fall in Richmond and Charlotte. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 3 wins, 10 top 5s, and 23 top 10s, and ended the season runner-up, second in final point standings. Martintruexjr, he ran the number 56 Napa Toyota. His best finish was first in the spring in Texas, and his best finish was second twice in both Kansas races. Overall, he scored 0 poles, 1 win, 7 top 5s, and 15 top 10s, ending the season 16th in final points. Another new team was the number 55 Aaron's Dream Machine Toyota. Markmartin made 24 starts in the number 55. His best start was first 4 times in the spring in Phoenix, Dover, and Richmond, and the second race of the season in Michigan. His best finish was second in the second Pocono race of the season. Overall, he scored 4 poles, no wins, 4 top 5s, and 10 top 10s. Brianvickers also made 8 starts in the number 55. Unfortunately, only able to run part-time due to a clotting disorder. His best start was second in the fall in Martinsville, and his best finish was 4th twice in Sonoma and the fall race in Bristol. Overall, he scored 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. Waltrip made 4 starts in the number 55 Toyota. His best start was 9th in the spring Talladega. So in 2013, Michealwaltrip Racing was having another very solid season, until Spingate, or the deliberate spin by Clintbowyer to bring out the caution. Then Ty Norris, who was serving as Vickers' spotter, called him down pit road as the green was coming out, saying on the radio something about points. This really upset NASCAR. It resulted in NASCAR handing down some of the steepest penalties and fines to date. It fined Michealwaltrip Racing $300,000, as well as all 3 teams being docked 50 driver runner points prior to the points being reset for the chase. Martin was kicked out of the chase, as a 13th entrant, Jeff Gordon got into the chase. Ty Norris was suspended indefinitely. 3 crew chiefs, Brian Patty, Scott Miller, and Chad Johnston, were put on probation until December 31st. After everything, Waltrip and his main number 1 sponsor that he had through him through the second he started with DEI Napa up and left the team. Martintruexjr also left the team at season's end. In 2014, Michealwaltrip Racing had Bowyer driving the number 15 Toyota. His best start was 3rd in Vegas, and his best finish was 3rd 3 times in Vegas, Richmond in the fall, and Talladega in the fall. Talladega in the spring. Well, overall, they they scored 0 poles, 0 wins, 5 top 5s, 15 top 10s, ending the season 19th in points. Vickers drove the number 55 Dream Machine full-time in 14. Overall, they scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, ending 14th ending up 14th in final points, 22nd final points. Brett Moffitt's one race for Michealwaltrip Racing in the number 66 Toyota, and with Brett Moffitt starting, finishing 39th. Finally, 2015, the final season the MWR was in operation. Clintbowyer was back behind the wheel full-time with the number 15 5-hour energy drink. His best start was 3rd in the summer in Daytona. His best finish was 3rd in Sonoma. Overall, he scored 2 top 5s and 12 top 10s. They ended up way out back in final point standings. David Reagan was behind the wheel of the number 55 Aaron's Dream Machine. He made 26 starts. His best start was 3rd twice in Loudon and Indy. His best finish was 5th in the spring at Martinsville. Overall, he scored 1 top 5 and 1 top 10, ending 2015 in the team's existence 27th in final points. Brett Moffitt made 6 starts in the number 55. His best start was 14th in the spring in Richmond, and his best finish was 8th in the spring at Atlanta. This was Moffitt's first career top 10 finish in the Cup Series. Vickers made 2 starts in the number 55. His best start was 18th in Phoenix, and his best finish was 15th in Vegas. Part owner Rob Kaufman announced August 19th, 2015, that Michealwaltrip Racing would cease operations following the end of the 2015 season. Lots of the MWR equipment and personnel went to BK Racing for 2016. And there was the rise and eventual fall of, at one time, not that many years ago, what looked like one of the NASCAR's next big super teams. Though underperforming, that team not being prepared once they got the Toyotas on the racetrack, to a team that has seemed to finally turn the corner, only to shoot themselves in the foot again, so to speak, with the whole Spingate controversy. This has been NASCAR's lost teams, Michealwaltrip Racing. They won 7 Cup Series races and 14 poles, 5 Xfinityseries races and 10 poles. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like. Take care.